Good evening. Oh, losing my voice. Sorry, you guys. Hopefully, it'll get as stronger as I go, maybe. Not quite sure. Kevin, I sent your microphone. It may be easier if you just request in the bottom left corner, and we'll get you a microphone. And Isaac, welcome, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad I'm healthy. Everybody out here getting sick for like the second or third round.
Yeah, it's going around. My thing is just I haven't really talked to anybody today, so I haven't used my voice, so it's just in resting position, I guess.
No,
I
no,
don't
that's
know.
good. That's good. I'm glad to hear you're not getting hit with it. But let me tell you, everywhere around me, everybody's catching it. And I'm like, damn.
Yikes. Yeah, my guys have had it twice now, and I've dodged the bullet both times. Knock on wood, but I'm leaving for Vegas on Wednesday, so you know what that means.
Yep. Full exposure time.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin.
Hey Sherry, how's it going?
It's going well. Do you want co-host or do you want to remain a speaker?
I think I'll be fine as a speaker.
Okay, no problem. I just thought I'd give you the choice. How you doing, pal? You doing good?
Yeah, doing good. It's a very exciting day, of course. With the WSP schedule coming out. So
Hell yeah.
I feel relevant again in the poker Twitter community. So
You're always relevant. And I'm going to tell you, the pads of my fingers were getting sore from tapping the tabletop waiting for the schedule, buddy.
yeah, I did notice your tweets about it, but yeah, it's definitely it's definitely frustrating. You would kind of think that they wouldn't release the schedule like mid February, maybe like the first week in February or something. But it's finally out, so that particular question is no longer valid. Like when it's coming out, it's here now. We all can discuss and criticize and praise and do all the things that we like to do on poker Twitter.
I know that's right. And let's start out with the dates. The dates of the WSOP are going to be May 26th through July the 15th. And at the end of the WSOP, for the first time, a circuit event is going to be overlapping the ending couple days of the WSOP. And it'll be a circuit event at the Horseshoe, and that's going to be the 14th of July through the 25th, just so
Correct.
everybody knows what those dates are. First, let's tell us what your role is going to be this year. So people that may be joining us and aren't familiar with you will get to know you a little better by telling us what you do.
Yeah. So my role last year and this year, it's a bit different than the previous 8 years I worked for the WSOP. So my official title, as it were, is WSOP plus czar, which basically means beside people love to ask me questions on Twitter, and I'm of course very happy to respond to those. In the past, I would usually answer those on the WSOP Twitter account, but
Right.
last year and this year, my role changed so that because they're doing a lot more video and they're doing a lot more production on the WSP Twitter account, so they didn't want me to really clog it up with a bunch of answering the same questions over and over again.
Right.
So it's basically I'll answer questions on my personal Twitter account, which is at KevMath, for those not aware.
Give them a follow, folks, and give me a follow too if you don't follow me.
And also, I'll be answering questions and putting updates and things like that on the WSP Plus app, which is definitely the WSP Plus app is definitely a huge game changer. It definitely improved the experience last year for so many players compared to previous years.
100%. And before we get to that WSOP Plus app, I want to just make a little reminder that I've been making for the last couple of years. And that is when you see Kevin Mathers, give him a little tip, you guys. 20 bucks, 50 or $100. He does it for us. And he's always at our beck and call, no matter what time or day. He's going to answer our questions on Twitter or other social media. Give the man a tip. So I'm off my soapbox.
And I do appreciate that, Sherry. Obviously, I'm not going to be soliciting for tips because
Of
I feel that
course.
I'm not just to put it out there. I didn't ask Sherry to say that
No, he
to
did
be.
not. He did not. And I think I started it the first year in 2023, but it may have been 2024 that I started plugging Kevin for tips because he deserves them. And guess what? That's the least we can do for the information he provides. And at no time has he ever asked me to make that announcement ever. So I do it 100% voluntarily. So let's go back to the WSOP Plus app. As you said, last year was the first year it was implemented. And of course, we were going into this year thinking we were going to have to re-verify, but you want to explain to us the process?
The details are a little. So I saw a tweet from Jeff Platt or this afternoon, basically saying that we did that players. So in the past, when players have used non-cash methods to register for events, and that in the past it used to be credit cards. Last year you could do PayPal, Luxon Pay, and various other methods. The details aren't fully confirmed.
Okay,
I'll just put that as a caveat. But in the past, you would have to verify yourself every year, and that's basically like I think it's like a know your customer type of deal. So it's more of a regulation thing than a WSOP thing. But it seems like this, if none of your information again, if this is correct, which I'm assuming it is, I think Jeff being a new employee of the WSOP, I think he would have the inside scoop over me at this point. That if all of your information is the same payment method, same address, all that information is the same, then you will not need to get verified. But I wouldn't go be 100% with that because they haven't released details on how to register for this year's WSOP. So I think it's just best to wait. And we probably won't know that officially until late April, early May when registration is available.
perfect. So we're going to revisit that topic in the future, just because it's still a fluid, fluid information. So we will definitely revisit that topic as it evolves. Um, you want to get into what are the additions to the schedule this year?
Okay, so as I'm sure many have noticed, there are a few new events that are on the calendar this year for the World Series of Poker, and it starts out with event number one, which
That
is the
mini mystery, right?
the $550 mini mystery millions, and people have really flocked to the mystery millions, which is $1,000 buy-in the last
Right.
couple of years, and it's a similar concept. There's going to be 6 opening flights. And basically, the concept the same. If you can make it to day two, then every player in the field is a mystery bounty. And the top bounty again for the 550 version, and there is a $1,000 version that will be available later in the series, but the top bounty is $1 million.
Nice prize pool for the bounties. And that is a 3-day event starting on May the 26th.
Correct. And just to clarify, it's not because there are when they say 3 days, it's not. I mean, it's technically true, but it's not really because there's 3 day ones. So there's gonna be 2 flights a day, the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then you have then day two, and then day three. So it's not. It's more like it would make sense if they just not have all the day ones count as one separate day. So it's
Right.
so basically it's almost a full week tournament. So just because I think some when people see 3 days, they just assume it's you start on Tuesday, you're done on Thursday, which
Right.
is
And that's a great clarification because it depends on how many day ones there are, right?
right,
So day one, just even if there's 100 day ones, it still only counts as one day one and
right.
one day two and one day three, meaning 3 days. So that is a good clarification to make for sure.
Yeah, and you'll see if you look at all the structure sheets. It'll have especially for events with multiple flights, it'll say day one, flight A, flight B, and it'll give the dates so you can see that, and then you'll see when
Right.
day two is and when day three is. It's not there's not unlike the May event later this summer. It's basically it's one day after the other, so there's not like gaps in between.
Right. Which there have been in the past. So, um, all right. What about event number 11? You want to tell us about that new event?
What is that? Let me just I got I'm
That's the
not.
GG Millions.
Okay, yeah, GG Million. So, those who outside the U.S. who play on GG Poker are certainly well familiar with the GG Millions event. It's going to be it's a $10,000 buy-in event, and it has two separate flights, and it's unlimited reentry. So for those who don't like reentry, that's probably an event that you're probably going to want to skip. But you're going to see your big names going to be playing this event and definitely firing their share of bullets into this thing. So I don't know if that's how many in the listening to us right now are going to be participating, but so
You
just
never know. They may find a satellite to feed into that. And that event starts on May the 31st.
yes,
All
and
right,
that
let's go ahead.
no, and that has 2 day ones, and there is day two entry, late entry into that as well. So just so
Oh,
people are
good,
aware. So there's
good
two.
info.
Yep. So you have two flights, and then you can still enter as many times as you need to in the first 2 hours on day two, which will be
Awesome.
on the 13th.
Awesome. All right, event number 16, which is that US Circuit Championship. Tell us about that new event.
Okay, so I'm sure people who've played in the WSP circuit are well aware that the circuit main events are $1,700 for the main event. So they've decided to create a U.S. Circuit Championship using that same $1,700 buy-in, and it's basically it's a similar to it looks, I assume it's going to be a similar structure to what players have seen in the WSP circuit main events. 40,000 chips, 40 60-minute levels. So basically, you two re-entries, which is relatively standard for those circuit events. It's some people probably recall at WSP Paradise in December there was a circuit championship. This is not replacing the 2025 edition in Paradise later this year. Because so basically, as I'm sure players are aware, if you win a WSP circuit ring, this any live circuit ring, and I'm sure it's online circuits as well, but you will receive a $5,000 package, which is basically covering these $2,500 circuit championship in the Bahamas, plus I think it's 5 nights at Paradise in the Bahamas. So this is completely separate from that. It's just a $1,700 bracelet event. It's the only $1,700 event on the WCB schedule this year. So um, it's a little strange to have a $1,700 event, but they decided to add it this year they had
Well,
reasons.
and I'm going to tell you, when I saw it, I was like, oh, does that mean the circuit winners, starting January 1, were winning a seat to this event? And no, it isn't.
No,
Um,
no,
so go ahead.
no. Apologies for interrupting. No, this is just it's an open event. Me, you, anyone who hears this, it's
Right.
open. It's open to everyone. But no, you're not. The winner's not going to get a special package for that. So it's just a $1,700 tournament, and I mean, it should be a pretty big prize pool, being it's in Vegas
Awesome.
at $1,700.
And for the record, that starts on June the 2nd, if you're interested in that tournament, people. All right, event number 53 is a new event, and that's a 5 card PLO.
Yes, it's the first time they've done I think, Big O, which is 5 card PLO 8 or better, has been on the schedule. It's an event that's we've seen pop up a lot around the world. And I think, now they just decided to add a 5 card event in Vegas. So and it's also a non-hold'em game. So, those who like playing PLO, I'm sure will be wanting to play this event. And also it's a very good, it's a reasonable price point for a lot of people who've maybe never played 5 card PLO, and it's gives them an opportunity to play.
Awesome. That event's June the 18th. It is a 3-day event. The last new event for this series is event number 91, which is the Pick Your PLO event. Tell us about it.
Okay, yes, pick your PLO. So again, this is dealer's choice. You know, People have played the dealer's choice, which is basically like a 20 game mix, which has all sorts of games. This time it's obviously a much smaller variety of events, and it's basically it's you play an orbit of a particular PLO game. PLO 8, PLO, standard PLO, Big O. I believe there's also a double board bomb pot in there. Um, so again, those who like playing PLO, and I'm sure we have our share. That will be something that will certainly attract a lot of players. Again, the $1,500
Right.
is definitely going to be of interest for a lot of players.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, I made the list. Let me look. I don't think there's a bomb pot in there. It is PLO, PLO 8, 5 card PLO high, and big O.
No, I think there is. I think there is PLO. I think there is a double board bomb pot in there. Let me just. I gotta scroll for the structure sheets again.
All right. And that, for those that are interested, that starts on July the 9th. Again, that's a $1,500 buy in. Poor Isaac's going in and out. He must be dropping because he's driving. Somebody is requesting, and I cannot see them. Hey, ASG, do you see somebody requesting, buddy?
I'm not a co-host.
And oh, let me make you one
Can you hear
seat.
me?
I can, Isaac.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'm stable.
Okay, perfect. It just showed somebody was I don't know. It's glitching. It's okay. No worries. I'm sorry. If anybody is requesting and we're not seeing it, just wave, like give me a wave emoji and we'll try to draw some attention and figure out how to get you up to speak. It seems to be glitching a little bit. Um, Go ahead, Kevin.
And there is. I was just. I think there is single, and I think there's 5 cards single and double board bomb pot in
Okay,
that particular PLO. So
perfect. There you go, folks. For those that are interested in the Pick Your PLO, which is a new event this year. Um,
I think there's one more. There is one more new event, and let me just bear with me. I because
sure.
yeah. Let's see.
And
That's
while you do that, I'm going to bring up the fact that there were 2 events removed from the schedule this year, and I'm a little disappointed about the one.
5
And
events
they,
were removed,
oh,
according to Faraz.
well, I saw 2 only, and of course, I haven't had the schedule all day, but Kevin can update us if I'm wrong. The 1979 Poker Hall of Fame Bounty Tournament has been removed from the schedule. I'm a little disappointed to hear that. Any comments about that, Kev?
yeah. I mean, I am kind of surprised with the PLO bounty. I'm sorry, Poker Hall of Fame bounty disappearing. It's I'm not sure why they removed it from the schedule. Actually, it's definitely interesting. I know you have some thoughts about the Poker Hall of Fame, Sherry. I admit I've been out of the Spaces loop for quite a while, but I did listen to one of your recent ones a couple weeks ago, and um, I know your thoughts about how Michael Mizrachi was suddenly inducted into the Poker Hall of Fame, and there should be a physical location for the Poker Hall of Fame, and I'm sure you have some other qualms about the Poker Hall of Fame itself, and I think a lot of people share those particular ones. I mean,
Well, and I appreciate you bringing that up because I'm going to, just for those that may be new, and Barry, I'm going to get you in a minute because you probably have somewhere to go. But just a recap of my whole take on the uh, WSOP Hall of Fame. Love it. I think we have to have it. I just think I want it to be bigger and better because I think those that earn that spot deserve that. And so for me, I would love if it was a standalone charity, a charity with no connection to any poker company, just a standalone charity with a board of directors elected. And one of those board of directors is in charge of the vote, the whole voting and process. And we have it in a Hall of Fame museum, a storefront somewhere in Las Vegas. And again, I would prefer it wasn't like involved with any casino, like a standalone. And why do I say that? Because it's better for appearances. It's sort of like the McDonald's game. Employees can't play the game. I feel the same way about the Poker Hall of Fame. It should be its own separate identity, charity. We fundraise, we make a museum, we get people, we get the family members, and of course, of those that are still alive, we get the Hall of Fame members themselves to put on loan their memorabilia to fill that museum. And maybe it's a loan for 1 year, and then that's rotated to a new player's memorabilia. I just think it deserves more. And I never want to see that go away for sure. And I just think it deserves more. So that's where I'm at for the Poker Hall of Fame. And as far as the process last year, I was so disappointed because all of you know that listen to me. It's a big push. I promote it a lot. I promote the voting process, the nomination process. I want people to get involved. I want their voices to be heard. So I promote it for them to nominate people, for them to vote for people. And, you know, I, for me last year, it has, there's no doubt Michael is deserving. Nobody is, in disagreement with that. It's for me that the entire process was bypassed by the people that wrote the process. And we little peons, to me, were just stepped on. Why did I waste my time promoting it, putting up nominees, voting, getting excited about the announcement of who made the slate? Only to be all of the, and I feel bad for that slate of folks that went through the process and they were stepped over, and somebody that wasn't even on the slate got put in, and it's disrespectful to them. So that's where I'm at with all that. I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of where I'm at with that. And quite honestly, I said this a couple of weeks ago, how can I promote that process and how can I be a part of that process if I don't believe in it now? Because why waste my time this year on that when it's just going to be every rule broken and all of us that spent our time and energy just stepped on, and the good old boys and girls just put in there who they want. Not that he's not deserving. Please don't anybody, twist that. He's deserving, but that's not the point. The point is there's a process that just got thrown out with the bathwater. And everybody knows the last 3 years said, I've also said we need to tweak that process. I think it's a great process, but that it needs a little tweaking. And guess what? I'm done. All right, Barry, go ahead real quick, buddy. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's all right. Thank you, Sherry. Thanks, Kev. Quick question. I see event. I haven't really looked over the schedule that thoroughly yet. I see event 14 as day 1A, 1B, and it's allowing 2 re-entries. Is that a buy-in and you could re-enter twice or a total of 2? So explain that. That's the big O.
Yes, so it's a maximum of 3 entries. So it's your entry and then 2 further re-entries.
So technically you could be in for 9K total.
Correct.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Barry. Miss you, buddy. And just one more thing about the Poker Hall of Fame. Just one more thing. I will be more than happy to devote time and energy to make what I said happen. Just for the record, people know that I volunteer in things I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about that. I'd be more than happy to help with that project. Just putting that out in the ether. All right, Kevin, go ahead.
Okay, there's a few other events that aren't appearing on the 2026 schedule. So, like you said, the Poker Hall of Fame bounty, the $1,000 Battle of the Ages, which was it debuted last year, and it was basically separated the 50 and over crowd with and the under 50 crowd. They played separately, then they combined for day 2.
Right.
The $3,000 limit 6 hold'em, the 6 max, the 777 lucky sevens.
Oh, that's right. I didn't see that one.
The $1,500 shootout, which is that's definitely an event. I've seen a lot of reaction on Twitter about that not being on the schedule. I'm not sure if it's just just didn't get the numbers they had they were expecting last year, or what exactly is the reason. There's always going to be some events that are just not going to appear anymore. And I thought the shootout, I think, is really the only time of year that there's actually a shootout. There may be some other places out there but it's like I think I can count less than 5 shootout tournaments that were poker tournaments last year around the world, and then also the 1500 max PLO is also off the schedule. So just that's for those who are curious about that.
Thank you. And thanks to ASG for keeping us updated too. Appreciate you, ASG. Tell us, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to look at, is there any new things as far as the WSOP Plus app? And let's not even worry about the registration process because we all know that we'll get information that on in the future. But anything else different or new on that app, Mr. WSOP Plus Czar?
As far as I can tell, at the moment, no. But I mean, it's it's going to be the place where you can track you can track players. You can update your chip counts. It's going to be most people are going to be registering through the app. You'll see your C assignments. You'll see your end of day chip counts. You can post your personal chip counts. You can post updates. So if you get missed. By the live reporting, you can provide your own live reporting, and you can
Right.
a lot of people unfortunately don't get covered by live reporting. So that's definitely one of the benefits of the WSP Plus app is that you can be your own live reporter, and when you bust from the tournament, you're but 99.99% of the time the dealer busts you right away, and certainly people are well aware that sometimes when live updates were done, people would be in the chip counts for hours, and there would be someone would be rooting them on Twitter, and then they would have to say, "No, I busted like I busted like at 2 o'clock. I don't know why I'm still in the chip count." So that's definitely one of the benefits. There's several benefits of the WSP Plus app. There you know
Absolutely.
there may be some new developments coming up, but unfortunately, I don't know of them at this time. But we do have 99 days until the WSP starts, so we'll have plenty of time to be told of any updates.
Of course. I need to give a little shout out to my sponsor, Elevator Results. If you need a tailor made workout plan to lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can help with that plan. Check them out at their website at elevatorresultspt.com, and they do have a Twitter account as well. Okay, I just want to just put a little shout out. The ladies' event is going to be June the 25th, and the ladies' warm up event is June the 23rd. And Lupe Soto posted that the ladies is going to go from Ladies Week to Ladies 2 weeks. So she's going to release details about that in upcoming weeks, and we will see what we're going to be doing in Vegas for 2 weeks' time, ladies. And don't forget, Sherry will be hosting a meetup game over at the Bellagio too, somewhere in between all that craziness. So lots going on. Okay, I noticed the industry employees event has had a name change back to employee event.
Yes. The big controversy last year was that basically the industry employee event basically was got reinterpreted as basically if you have a pulse, you can enter the event. So
Right.
I think the issue that's always come up is how do you verify you're a casino employee? So that's
Right.
I don't know if that's going to be detailed when they when players register for that event. And it is it's usually held on the first day, but this year it's going to be
The
on
second
the
day.
second day. So that we'll see how that affects things, but it's sort of it gets its own separate. It's
Right.
that it doesn't get lumped in with the other two events that will start on day one. Excuse me.
No worries. I just want to give a quick shout out. There is a Caesars room code that you can use when trying to reserve a room online at the Caesars properties for the WSOP. And that Caesars room code is WSOP 26. WSOP 26 is the room code to get you that discounted rate for the WSOP. Now, I just need, I know that another big announcement today was that the WSOP is going to do a live broadcast every day on their YouTube channel. So, do we know what time of day that's going to be?
I would well let's assume that let's assume that there's going to be an hour delay, and I would assume they would start they would start filming at noon each time. Again, this is we're going to get all these details in the coming weeks,
Right,
but
right,
I'll put the assumption hat on for this one. I'll say they start at noon and basically go through maybe 9 hours. I'm sure we'll get those details coming soon. But it's definitely one of the big complaints I see every year on Twitter is I mean people appreciate Poker Go, and
Right.
they've done a great service,
Of course.
but a lot of people don't like having to pay for PokerGo. So it's
Of course.
and
Well, and I'm going to just say, I guess my idea of a WSOP daily show has not gone unnoticed. The WSOP is copying my format and having a daily show. And guess what? I'm flattered by it. And yes, I'm taking credit for it. So there you go to my crew, Isaac and ASG and Kieran and Software Brian and anybody else that has co-hosted in the past or joined me in the past on these daily coverage shows. It did go unnoticed, folks, and I'd like to think in my own small pea brain that maybe we influenced a little bit of that decision making process. So thanks and a shout out to my crew for sure.
yes, and I mean, I'm sure maybe they will start at noon with the pregame show.
Right,
They've had some notable hires announced in the past couple of weeks, and definitely Jeff Platt is definitely one of those hires. And he's going to be, I assume he's going to be leading the Daily Show.
right, right.
You can call it the pregame show or whatever you would like to call it. And
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for sure. And I just want to, before I forget, Kevin, I'm going to be doing a fundraiser with a quilt I've had made out of my poker related t-shirts. And there is a WSOP t-shirt on there. And I want to make sure you get with me at the WSOP so you can sign that quilt. Okay, buddy?
yeah, yes, I would be happy to sign that. Um,
And
do
that'll
my part to help for sure.
Yeah, I would love that. I'm trying to get all the squares and we'll be going public with that raffle. It's going to be for Poker Gives, Feed the Homeless Project in Las Vegas, and it'll probably kick off April 1st or so. And I'm just trying to get the word out there that anybody that is affiliated with one of the squares on that quilt is more than welcome to sign it. And for those of you that have been in the spaces with us for the last 3 years, there is a Spaces t-shirt on there that has pictures. If you guys remember, Elle and WePro made a T-shirt that had it was a spoof. I know that Snoop is on there and Barry's on there, and so you guys can come by and sign it too. So I just got off topic, but wanted to get out that word while I have you folks here in the space and see your faces. So, all right, let's talk about the Player of the Year race that starts in Prague in March. Tell us the changes to that.
So the one big change is that they're starting with WSP Europe this year, and it's basically going to cover all the bracelet events in Prague, Vegas, and Paradise. So I think it's definitely a much needed overhaul, and they also overhaul the criteria and the calculating of points. Basically, you're going if you cash an event, you're going to earn a certain number of points. It's not going to be like what's been past several years, where if you basically fall within a certain range of positions, you're going to earn
Right,
this amount of points. And I think that sort of I think with when you see something like when Benny Glaser wins free bracelet events and he finishes third in POI, it seems like that could be I mean Michael Mizrachi finished second. He won the main event and the PPC, and then he was second. So it's but basically I believe it's your past 10 results. It's 10 or 12. I don't recall off the top of my head, but it is going to be live results only. In the past years, you would be allowed to have one online result, but that's been removed. Um, and hopefully, I mean, I think it's going to hopefully, we'll see the usual suspects in Player of the Year in Prague, Vegas, of
right.
course, and in the Paradise, chasing the Player of the Year title. And also, it's $100,000 package for whoever wins Player of the Year. So it's definitely a much bigger package than it's been in previous years. Which basically you get the banner, you get a trophy, and then you get a main event seat for the following year.
Okay, am I correct in remembering that it's a $1 million prize pool
Yes.
and first place gets 100,000 plus a paradise
Yeah, I think
package,
it was
right?
first through third all get the same, except for the banner. Uh,
Okay,
Uh,
is
thank you.
right, Kevin? Something like that.
well, First is a pack. First is a pack. Yeah. So first is 100K. Yeah. First through fair is 100K package. First obviously gets the title. The top 4th through 15th get a 30K super main event package. So I mean, when I look at this, I assume it's for 2027. That's what would make sense to me.
Right. Right.
And then, so then, basically there's prizes through 100th place. So it encourage, another reason to encourage people to make the top 100. So 4 for 15th gets a 30K super main event package. 16th through 50th get a 5K circuit championship package with one of those players. There's a drawing for one of those players to get an upgrade to a 30K package. And then 50 for the bottom 50, 51st through 100 get a the $2,500 circuit championship ticket. And then six players will get upgraded in a drawing to the 5K package. So definitely, there's definitely it's definitely much, instead of one person getting something, it's definitely better to have 100 players. So
Yes.
it's sort of, hopefully, we'll see. It should tick numbers up a little bit for Prague, but Prague is definitely a better. I've been to Wrocław twice, and Wrocław's an interesting place, but it's definitely not Prague. Prague is definitely
Everybody says that. Everybody's like, they're so happy it's going to Prague.
I would. I've never been to Prague myself, but people love for the European Poker Tour. They have a big series December every year, and that's very popular. It runs up against the WPT World Championship and WSP Paradise, but it holds its own. So with Andy Tillman, the tournament director in charge there, they got 15 bracelet events in Prague, coming up next month. So um,
Right.
that it's running up against the Irish Open, which people have their issues with that, but I think there's definitely enough interest that I think both series will do just fine.
And yeah, I'd say it's worth pointing out, especially because it bumps up against the WPT, that all of the Player of the Year prizes are for the Paradise tournaments in December.
Yeah, I think you're right. It probably would be. It seems like I don't know why you would have 100K because it should cover every event of the all three series. So that's why I think it's 2027. But I'm sure as we get
Oh,
closer,
I think it's all 2027, but I think it's all Paradise events.
yeah, right. These are all the prizes are all Paradise events, correct? But I'm assuming it's for 2027. But again, well, as we get closer, we'll get better. We'll have more details on that.
Clarification.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant to say.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. No worries. No worries. This is teamwork, Kevin. Teamwork is the dream
Yeah,
work.
exactly.
Um, let's talk about something I'm a little bit, okay, maybe a lot disappointed to have learned this week. And that is the poker.org lounge will not be there this year. I'm very disappointed. I thought it was a crown jewel for the WSOP. I think the poker.org group represented the WSOP so well with that lounge. So is there going to be something that's going to replace that or not, Kevin?
At the moment, I'm not aware of a replacement, but um, those I will I probably can't elaborate much on this, but I think you'll see more of a poker org presence this year than previous years.
Nice.
So I think it's I definitely appreciate the lounge as well, but I think in terms of poker media this year, it's I think they'll make an official announcement sometime in the coming weeks, but
Okay.
there's interesting developments regarding poker media coverage this.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And we're not going to press you on that for sure. I never do. We love when we get a little scoop from you, but I'm not going to push
Right,
it.
and
Um,
and to be honest, I don't know exactly. I mean, I had a meeting with them, a week and a half ago, but it wasn't like they gave me everything, which I can
right,
understand why, because sometimes
right,
I go on a space and talk about something that maybe I shouldn't, but
right.
we'll get more details in the coming weeks.
And and we all know it's 100 days out and there's a lot of wheels turning and folks working hard behind the scenes on our behalf and they're trying to make plans for us and guess what? They're not ready to release that information yet and it is okay.
Yep, I agree.
you know. Okay, I put a little tweet, a little teaser out the other day because somebody had, and I don't remember if it was Barry Carter or what. Somebody wrote a prediction of changes for the WSOP this year. And one of them was that they were going to start the main event earlier in June and then do a final nine in July. And I've really just kind of made it a tweak to just, engagement and start, convo starter. But after I started to think about it, I'm thinking it's really not a bad idea if they did that. Of course, they're not going to do it this year, but thinking in the future, why not do that, Kevin?
So I'm sure I think you may be, Mike Sexton kind of suggested, maybe not the July 9 concept, but he sort
Right.
of like, back in the mid 2000s, he sort of, when you could, before the UIGEA. So he had the idea that maybe like you could have like an opening weekend, have like, let's say like Caesar's Palace holds like day, has a day one flight of the main event, and
Right.
players who advance, they come back, they play day two later in the series, and maybe you have other Caesar's properties around Vegas, or
That's kind of fun.
so I mean, as a possible, obviously that's I don't know if that's really as feasible as it could have been back then, but
Right.
the GG Poker does do online day ones for their super main event in Paradise. So it's basically you I think they had over 20 day ones last year, and players that made day two, they got the free trip to the Bahamas. So I think somewhere it's maybe it may not happen. It's not going to happen this year, maybe not next year, but I can see in the relatively near future, if online poker gets more of a presence in the United States, that you could see online day ones for the main event happening on GG Poker, on WSP.com, online, maybe even on GG Poker outside the U.S. But
And that's certainly one way to handle the dealer shortage, isn't it?
yeah, that would definitely be a way to do it. I mean, another way would be doing less events, but I think I think 100 events is definitely, I think it's definitely the appropriate amount of events for the WSP in Vegas.
Right. Yeah, I would not want it to go any higher. Honestly, I wouldn't want it to go more than 100, and I certainly wouldn't be opposed to being less than 100. But I don't think it should go higher. Just my personal thought.
No, I agree, and I think with 15 in Prague and Paradise, I think is the appropriate amount for those events as well. So I mean, a lot of people don't. I know people have their issues with online bracelet events, and I can certainly understand the concerns for all sorts of reasons. So,
Right. Of
but
course. Of course. Is there anything you want to touch on that I haven't brought up yet?
no, I don't think so, Sherry. I mean, I mean, it's kind of, it's kind of tricky to do these things on the per se, because there's a lot of unknowns out there, and it's there's a lot of things I don't know personally, and I would like to be surprised as much as everyone else when they officially get announced. So, I mean, I think it's a big deal, the delayed final table. It's hopefully
Right.
we'll see if it's going to be on some could be on Netflix, could be on some streaming service, free streaming service, or some major outlet. That would be kind of nice, but that unfortunately, that's well beyond my pay grade. Maybe ask Jeff Platt, and you of course you twisted his arm enough. Maybe he would tell you, but probably not until the time is right.
Of course, of course. And we would not expect anything less. And I'm going to give my panel a chance to ask any questions. And those of you that are in the audience, if you have any questions or comments, just click on that request button in the bottom left corner. And you are more than welcome to join us on the panel and ask questions or give us your comments or feelings on a topic. Uh, Isaac, go ahead. You have anything? Uh-oh. Isaac, we may have lost him.
Uh
Oh, no.
oh.
There you are. Isaac, you there, buddy? Uh-oh. We cannot hear you, bud. All right, ASG, go ahead if you have any questions or
Uh,
comments.
did we talk about the Gladiator?
No, go ahead. Bring it up.
So the Gladiators after the main this year. What do you think about that in terms of how many people it might bring?
That's a very good question. It is sort of, it's basically like running relatively around the same. Yeah, you said right around after. I think it's after all the day ones, if I'm correct. I mean, will I get 20,000 entries? I can't imagine that, but I'm sure it'll get a very strong turnout. I not they have I'm not sure if they're gonna if they don't want as many entries as they've had in the past. Um, I believe last year was the only event that had a guarantee, which they easily beat, and there are no guarantees except for the the $1 million bounties in the mini mystery millions and the regular mystery millions, but there's no prize pool guarantees. At least they haven't announced any. Maybe that's maybe that'll be one of those big developments that get announced later. But I doubt that's actually going to be the case. But I think they some maybe it got a little out of hand, but um, it'll be I'll be interested. I mean, I remember the first year of the Colossus, it was just they were everywhere at the Rio, and over time
There were 23,000, weren't there?
it was.
I think there were 23,000 people in that tournament.
Yeah, there was quite a few players all over the place at the Rio, and
They were in the broom
yeah,
closet. I remember people saying we were in the broom closet.
yeah. So yeah, no broom. I don't think they have any broom closets at Horseshoe or Paris, but they are they are a couple of out of the way places for that they would have overflow that they would usually have the deep stacks, and so maybe you'll see some people there for the gladiators. But yeah, I actually when I played the gladiator last year, that's I was I believe it was in Normandy, so. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll see if that's the case again this year. But I think they would not be upset if they got fewer entries. If as long as everything runs smoothly, they'd be happy with that.
Amen.
So the main is July 2 through
Second.
5th,
Yep.
Yep.
and the Gladiator is July 8th, which corresponds to day 3.
Right. So yeah, players would be pretty close to the money at yeah on day when the gladiator starts. I mean, obviously you'll have you'll have I believe it's 2 flights a day for that if I remember correctly. Um, so I mean, you'll be, people, if anyone min cashes the main event, they could obviously hop into the Gladiator and try take another crack at another tournament if they so desire.
Is that a $500
Yep,
buy-in this year, the
that's three
Gladiator?
hundred.
$300 buy-in.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there is a $500. I know there's a $500 freeze out. There's a $500 summer saver. So
Isn't there a $500 Colossus, maybe?
I believe the crosses was 400.
I think it's bumped up to
They may have
five.
bumped up to 5, but yeah, there's definitely a good amount of under $1,000 events this year, which some freeze outs. You got your deep stack events. There's also
Love me some deep
yeah,
stacks. Love them daily deep
I'm
stacks.
with you there, and it's the same array, same lineup as last year. You got the seniors deep stacks, you got PLO deep stacks, you got your horse deep stacks, and then your usual free deep stacks today. So yeah, you
Love
are
it.
correct. It is 500 this year for the
Yeah,
Colossus.
500 June 10th through 13th of for the day ones.
So it went up to 400 last year, up to 500 this year, just for those that are keeping tabs. Go ahead, Isaac. Are you there, buddy?
I hope I am.
Go ahead.
No, actually, ASG, thank you, bro. You straight read my mind. I was like, when I saw the schedule this morning, coolest thing I saw was that the Gladiator is like in the second half, because I'm usually there from around the end of June on, and those events are gone. So dope to see that on the schedule.
Yeah,
Love it.
I don't know if they were looking to do a bounce, have it instead of having as many, higher buy-in events and towards the back half, but um, it's good, it's good to spread out all the lower buy-in event, having a $300 event after the main is that
All right.
no,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was done. You're good.
Um, Exec Deck, welcome, buddy. Did you have some questions or comments?
Yeah, I did. Sherry, how you doing? Good to hear
Good,
your
buddy.
voice.
Good to hear
Great.
you.
Thanks, Kevin, for coming up here and all the information. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank
I got 3 quick questions. The first 2 are just like one word answer, and the third one is hopefully a little insight. So, senior event, what's the age limit?
You have to be 50 on the day you register, at least 50.
50. Nice. And then
Super seniors is 60.
60. Gotcha. Thanks. That was a little part B of that question. Um, you said that the Mystery Millions, there's there's a $500 version and there's $1 million bounties in that one
Yes,
too.
both the 550,
Ooh.
the 550 mini mystery millions and the $1,000 mystery millions, which will be late June. They both will have the mystery bounty element, and they will have 1 million guaranteed as a top bounty.
Oh
Okay,
man,
just to be clear, exec deck, event number 1 is the mini million, and
Mhm.
there is a $1 million bounty. And then the other mystery million is later in June.
Oh man, I was sitting next to a guy playing cash tables at Bellagio, and his son had just won $1 million last
Oh,
year in the Mystery Millions.
that's so
Some young
awesome.
kid with
Tyler,
like this curly blonde hair.
Tyler.
Tyler Fontana.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah, I sat right next to his dad at a cash table. He starts telling me all about him. I was like, I thought you looked familiar. Looked just like him.
I love it.
Third little question was there was an event I really liked because of the payout structure was the Independence Day celebration, and I don't think I saw that on the schedule. Is there something similar or replacement?
there's the summer celebration, which is that's event 81. That starts on I think it's July 2nd, 3rd, July 2nd and 3rd are the day one flights.
Okay,
So that
same time frame
yeah,
then.
so it's $800 buy-in. Um, standard. I believe there's let's see how many reentries they let you get for this one. This-
While you look at that up, there was like if you made it to the end of day one, you could just change in your chips for a minimum payout.
well, it's as let's say you're playing flight A and you have like 5 big blinds. You're in the money,
Hmm.
so you can forfeit your stack and then re-enter a later flight. So you can do that, and you would get
Yes, I
whatever
like that.
the payout is at that point. So you would do that.
Yeah,
You would
that's
do that
cool.
at the end of play.
Right. Cool. Summer celebration. I'll look for
Yep.
it. Thanks.
No
Appreciate
problem. It's
it.
event 81.
Got it. Cool.
Thanks, exec
Thank
deck.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, buddy. Okay, anybody else have any questions? Barry?
No, I'm good, Sherry. Thank you for doing this. Kevin, thank you again for coming by. ASG, Isaac, everybody else. Good to see everybody.
Thanks, Barry.
Uh,
Thanks, Barry. Appreciate you. All right,
Appreciate you, legend.
um,
yeah.
Kevin, yeah, go ahead, ASG.
So, Kevin, I saw you answering a couple of questions about it online. I'm not sure if you got to it before about the millionaire maker with the day 2 thing with the day 1. Did you bring that up already?
No, that's actually, I think that the Millionaire Maker, I think there's one other event. So if you play day 1A and bag, you play the following day on day 2A. And that goes from, if you play 1B and bag, you play 2B the following day. So, and then day 3 is what is basically all the day 2 survivors are combined. And then they all play as one group. So I think the question was asked if you bust on day 1A, or I should say 1B. No, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm
The
sorry.
thing was,
No,
if you
on
bust
2A.
day 2A, you can
Yes, 2A,
register
yes.
for day 2C or day
Y-
1C. Excuse me.
Yes, you could do that. And I think in that similar vein, is similar to previous events where you have payouts on day 1. Each flight is its own prize pool. So you'll usually see like basically you'll see a lot of people min caching. So, but they would be able to play the following flight. So it's basically each flight has its own prize pool, and then when you get to day 3, in this year's example for the Millionaire Maker, all the prize pool money that has been paid is combined as the one prize pool. Excuse me. And so whomever makes day 3 is going to make the first person out on day 3 should make, I would say would make more money than the highest position from all the day 2 cashers, if that makes sense to you. It's basically like it's like its own prize pool from day 3 and beyond. So whoever wins is going to get the million plus whatever, but it's going to be based on that price. It's not going to be based on the total price pool. It's basically any price pool money that hasn't been paid yet.
Yeah.
Sounds clear as mud to me. Go ahead, ASG.
Okay, and also, not that past results can indicate current what's going to happen, but um, in previous years, the past 2 to 3 years, um, the mystery millions, when it was the thousand, had $2 million winners. So maybe the 500 will have one and the 1,000 will have two, but that's just a guess without knowing the prize pool.
Yeah, I would say that's a reasonable guess. I mean, I think one critique that people have had in the past is that they should just be $1 million winner and then maybe have like some 500s because I think it's like a million and then goes drops down to 250. Um, maybe have some big, have some six-figure bounties instead of two 1 millions. But yeah, it is going to be dependent on how many people enter. I mean, I personally can't see the 550 getting $2 million bounty winners, but you never know.
Awesome. Okay, just a couple of reminders for those that are new to my spaces. One, I'm going to be out of town. I leave for Vegas on Wednesday, so I won't have my typical Friday night space this week or next week because I'm going to be enjoying Las Vegas. Also, I will be doing March Madness brackets for those that are interested in that. Just watch for the announcements. Also, for the summer, we will be doing the ODB Baker Fantasy League. We will do a team or two or three, depending on what the interest is for that. So, keep your ears to the ground on that. So, Kevin, what else you want to tell us, or are we done, buddy?
I think we're done, but I mean, I think I'll when we have information about registration, more details about registration, maybe I'll do a space or maybe I'll join one of your spaces and we can talk more about that. And maybe I'll do one or two spaces in the run up to the WSOP, but it sort of depends.
Let
Depends
me
on how,
know.
yeah, it depends how I feel about it. So,
Yeah,
but
let me know. I'm always willing to help you, whether you want me to co-host or host or whatever, buddy.
no,
I'll help you.
and I appreciate that, Sherry. And it was fun talking to everyone. And I look forward to doing this again in a few weeks.
We appreciate you, Kevin. I see Isaac has his hand up, so I'm going to give him a chance to make comment or question. Go ahead, buddy.
Just a little bit of both. Kevin, thank you as well. And Sherry, cough, cough, meetup game. Cough, cough.
Oh, yeah, meetup game. Thank you. We will definitely be having a meetup game toward the end of June in Vegas at the Bellagio. So look for announcements for that. Thank you, Isaac. Appreciate you. That's always a fun time. And Isaac, I need to buy some NFTs so I could play Phase 6. So let's get that moving, buddy. Just a hint on that front. But Kevin, as always, I appreciate you. And those that are listening currently, or in the future. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. And Kevin and I will work together to continue to get the information out so that you guys can have a great experience at the WSOP. Exec deck, go ahead, buddy.
Are you telling me you don't have a Phase 6 pass?
No, I
Well, you do
finally,
now. Send me your
uh,
wallet address. DM me. You have one for the holders game tomorrow.
well, I appreciate that, except I don't know how to find my address. So we're gonna have to
Don't
work on.
worry. I think I
I
have
did
it. I
set
Asma
up
think
the
probably
look.
has it.
I,
Look, I did set up the account though, so I actually have the wallet. So you guys should be so proud of me.
yo, we're making Web3 history every day with you over here. Okay, like live onboarding into Web3 is what I'm talking about.
You
Yes.
are, you are.
GVG Phase 6 Pass, by the way, is just a online poker community, fairly small group, holders tournament games that are free roll if you have a pass and get to win cash.
Thank you.
I,
Appreciate
I
that. And that is the Green Visor Gang. Of course, Isaac, who is Asimov, is his screen name here. Exec Deck, all the guys and gals, you'll see them around. Any of them can help you with your questions. And if you want to get hooked up with their games, a fun group of folks. I love hanging out with them in Vegas and in spaces, of course. Kevin, did you have something?
No,
No, no, I think I'm good for now. But
Okay.
I'll be on, I'm gonna be on Twitter, so
Of
I'll
course.
answer any and all questions. So
Of course. And he
So
does, folks,
I
day and night. Go ahead, ASG.
yeah, I just saw this on Alan Kessler's Twitter. The Horseshoe Hall of Fame poker room, that tiny little poker room, not the one that they use for the WSOP, is
Right, their
having.
normal room.
Yep, they're having a promotion from March 1st to May 24th. If you To qualify, you have to play at least 100 hours in live play at cash games. 100 hours gets you. They're going to have a tournament on May 25th. 100 hours gets you 20K chips. 125 hours gets you 25K chips. 150 plus hours gets you 30K chips. And they're giving out 1st through 25th will get you a main event seat. 26th through 125th will get you $1,000 WSOP ticket to use for whatever, and 126th through 225th will get you a $550 mini mystery seat.
Yeah, that is a great opportunity. And I'm going to tell you, I've been trying to figure out how I can get back there in March and April to book up some hours. That is an opportunity if for you guys that are in Vegas or can drive there quickly in a short period of time. That is definitely an opportunity you do not want to miss. 100 hours. Come on. We can do that in no time at all. I know I have. I've done it for promos before. Great opportunity at the Horseshoe. Don't miss it.
Also,
Go
a
ahead,
great
Isaac.
opportunity to play against a bunch of old man coffees while the promotion is going on.
Well, let me
Yo,
just tell you, the people at that Horseshoe are a lot of miserable wrecks. Let me just tell
hey,
you.
and I want to make him more miserable. What you talking about? 100 hours? I need to sleep on someone's couch in Vegas.
So they're going to go from miserable Rex to miserable Regs.
No, for real.
There, let me tell you, I was so disappointed with the shit regs in Vegas when I was there in December. I really was. Like they were making everybody miserable. Like we didn't choose your profession for you. If you are miserable trying to, flop your stack to double it for the day so you can eat the next day, that is not my fault. But I guess if I have a great time at the table, maybe I'll stick around long enough to lose some to put food on your table. So like, treat me better, folks. And that's, I'm talking to those shit regs. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox about that. All right, you guys, we're signing off. I appreciate all of you. Um, give each other a follow in this space because you know what? If we're all here, we must love poker. So appreciate all of you. Kevin, take care, my friend, and everyone else too. Have a great week, folks. Thank you
thank you.
and good night.